All right, it is time for math. And today we're going to talk about numbers, comparing two different numbers, which number is greater and which number is less. So let's look at these two flowers. Mrs. Brown had two different types of flowers growing out in her garden. She had this flower that's made up of what shapes? The middle is a circle and the petals are triangles. And this one has a circle and rectangles. So let's count how many shapes were on the first flower. 1 for the circle, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this flower with the triangles has 8 shapes. Now let's count the rectangle. There's one circle in the middle and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shapes to make up that flower. Which flower has more shapes? Is 7 more or is 8 more? Good. 8 is more than 7. So if I wanted to change that and I would want to put 7 first, I would say 7 is less than 8. 8 is more than 7. 7 is less than 8. All right, let's practice this with a few more numbers. I have some dots here and we're going to count them and we're going to decide which one is less. So I'm going to put more and less on my board. And then we're going to put some numbers up here and you're going to help me decide which one's more and which one's less. All right, let's look at this one first. How many dots do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots on this card and this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. So which one has more? Is 5 more or is 4 more? 5 is more than 4. 5 is more than 4. All right, which one's less? We would switch that around then. 4 is less than 5. 4 is less. There's not as many of them. 5 has one more. Let's try it again with another set of numbers. How many dots do you see? 6 and 3. Which one is more? Is 6 more or is 3 more? 6 is more than 3. 6 has more than 3. There are more dots on this paper than there are on this one. All right, let's turn it around. 3 is less than 6. There are less dots on this page. 3 is less than 6. All right, now let's practice it with some numbers. I'm going to put 2 numbers in the middle, and we're going to decide which one's more and which one's less. All right, 1 and 4. Which one is more? Is 1 more or is 4 more? If I was holding up fingers, I would have 1 finger and 4 fingers. How many is more? 4 is more than 1. And if I want to change it around and use less, then I would put 1 over here. 1 is less than 4. Good, so we can compare numbers using more and less. Let's do one more with the numbers. All right, which number is more, 10 or 9? If I had 9 pennies in one hand and 10 in the other, which one would have more? Yeah, 10 is more than 9. And if we switch it around, 9 is less than 10. So today when we do our paper, we're going to talk about more and less. If a number is bigger, it's more, and if it's smaller, it's less. All right, but one more thing before we do our paper. We're going to talk about measuring again. And we're going to talk about 2 pieces of string that I have here. Which one of these is longer? Which one do you think is longer? Well, right now, it might be kind of hard to tell. I'm going to put them right on this board so you can kind of just see. It would be kind of hard to tell. Why would it be hard for me to measure which one is more right now? Are they both the same shape? No. So this gray one is a lot easier to measure because it's already all rolled out. It's already long like this, and I could just use my ruler and measure it. But can I just measure this circle? No, I have to unroll it. I have to unroll it. So let me get it one that's already unrolled here. Now, can you see them? Now it'll be a lot easier to compare them because they're both long and straight. So now which one is longer? The gray one is still a little bit longer than that black one. But we couldn't tell that when it was rolled up in a circle. It was hard to tell that, isn't it? But now that they're both stretched out straight, you can tell that that gray one's a little longer. Sometimes when we look at our paper, and when we had this on our test last time, they gave it to us like this. That piece of string was curled up like this. So is the gray shorter than the black? Remember? No, it's longer. But just because it's curled up, it looks shorter now. So sometimes when you see a string or a line on your paper that's all curled up like this, it doesn't mean it's shorter just because it's curled up. We have to think about it all stretched out and see how long it would be. So which one is the longest? The gray one is longer than the black. Now which one is longest? Still the gray one. If we stretched them out, the gray one would still be longer. It's just squished up and it's harder to measure like that. So we have to straighten it out, try to get it as straight as possible and measure. And then we see the gray one is the longer one. All right, go ahead and get your math page. It's page 207 and 208. It looks like this. It's got some cars and purses, little change purses there. All right, take it. Put your name at the top. First thing we do every time. Go ahead. I'm going to get my marker. Just a minute. All right. Got your name at the top? Good job. It says count the objects and write the number. That's our first instruction. So we're going to count those cars. So you count, I'll count, and then we'll check. Count the purses. You count and write the number, then we'll check. What did you get? Did you get 8 cars and 10 purses? Awesome. Now it has a second direction. It says circle the number that is more. So are there more cars or more change purses? Which number's bigger? Remember, if it's more, it's the bigger number. 10 is the bigger number, so let's circle those change purses. There's more change purses than there are cars. All right, let's do the next one. You go ahead and count both of those, and then I'll count and we'll check. Ooh, these are teen numbers. Remember, they start with ones. I'll give you just a second. Okay, did you get 15 and 12? 15 looks like this, 1 and 5, and 12 looks like this, 1 and 2. If you didn't have those correct, go ahead and fix them. So you have a 1 and a 5 and a 1 and a 2. 15, 12. Which number is more? Are there more cookies or more tomatoes? Which one is more? Remember, the biggest number is more, so there are more cookies. Circle that 15. That's the bigger number. There's more cookies than there were tomatoes. All right, let's look at the pennies. It says count the pennies and write the number. And look, they have these in groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. How do I make a 20? We just did it on calendar. 2, 0 makes a 20. And look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not in groups of 5, so we can't count them by 5s. They're by 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 of them. How can I make an 18? It's a teen number, so it starts with a 1, and then it's 18. So we're going to put that 8 right next to it. 1 8 makes an 18. Circle the number that has less. Oh, they're trying to trick us. They ask us which one has less this time instead of more. Which number is smaller this time? Less is smaller, so is it 20 or 18? 18 is smaller than 20, so we're going to circle 18 pennies this time. Check your work. Make sure you have it correct. If you do, flip your paper over. Ah, they're asking us about that curly Q string again. It says circle the object that is longer. Which one is longer? Is this one or this one? Let me see. And I'm gonna put my fingers right there to measure it and then look down. Is that one longer? Yeah, this one right here is longer. Which corn is taller? Yeah, that one's the tallest one. Okay, circle this. The object that's heavier. Is an elephant or a mouse heavier? Which one's gonna be heavier? Which one's gonna weigh more? That's the elephant. Good job. How about a gallon of milk or a feather? Which one's gonna be heavier if you tried to carry it? Yep, that gallon of milk. All right, down here at the bottom, again, it just says count and write the number. So I'm gonna let you do that, and I'm gonna give you a couple minutes, and then we'll check our answer together. Did you get it? Just give a couple more seconds for everybody to finish up. Okay, did you get 10 and 14? Awesome. Did you notice that this is a 10? And there's a 10 in the cars with some ones left over. This has how many ones? 0. And this one had how many ones left over? 4. So 14 was 1 10 and 4 ones. 10 is just 1 10, 0 ones. All right, if you have it all correct, check your work. Give yourself a great big smiley face today. Nice job. All right, you are finished with math for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.